morning to you. Let's get started. First things first, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, do make sure that you click on the subscribe button and also the bell so you get notified when new videos come on. If you're watching somewhere else, you search my first and last name, Martha Krejci, on YouTube. Click on the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified when new videos come on. Here's why. It's because once a week, we pick a winner. So once a week, one person that is both subscribed to YouTube and comments on the YouTube videos wins something. So there's that. So aside from the videos that, I'm preeminent, a preeminent genius in my category, in what I teach you guys. So not only are you guys going to get the right information, the information that works that you can actually build your business with from home, okay? Not only are you going to get that, but also you've got an opportunity to win. And I don't know, I don't even care if I win like a chip clip. Some of you know what I mean there. I don't even care if I win that. Give me something, like I want to win something. So there's that. Anyway, let me go ahead and get off of there. I want to say hello to a couple of you guys, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the meat and potato of today's lesson, okay? So hello, Joanne and Judith. Cindy, good morning. Heather, hey, beauty. Aw, shucks. Patty, good morning. Beth, good morning. Michelle, I found my business and life coach. It's Martha. Aw, boom. I love that. Angie, good morning. Melanie, blessed, beautiful morning. Greetings from Iowa. Oh, hello. Lorna, hi from the West Coast. Misty, good morning, Martha. Joe, chip clip, there it is. Some of you are going to know what that means. Michelle, chip clips are worth millions. Man, you ain't kidding. Carrie, good morning. Andrea, good morning, Martha. Kayla, hey, hey. Joanne said hi again. Cindy, knowing the significance of the chip clip, great thing to win. Heck yes. Angie, good morning. And Andrea, good morning. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes here. If you guys have questions, when you guys have questions, or just things you want to shout out from the rooftops, feel free to go ahead and put them in the comments, and I'll be able to read through them later. I get to read through all the comments every single day. It's what I do here right after the video is I go through and I read the comments, so I appreciate you guys. All right. Today what we're going to talk about is how to choose a good business coach. And this is because business coaches are necessary, in my opinion. They're 100% necessary. But you need to make sure that you choose the right one, or else you're going to take on their limitations. Okay? And they're not being malicious. They're not trying to hurt anybody, but they have their own limitations. And if you're not careful, you hire a business coach and they're going to be giving you advice on their own limitations. So you have to be careful, okay? So we're going to go through 3 things that you need to look for in a business coach today, okay? To make sure that you're not hiring limitations, quite frankly, okay? So I always like to start off with my own story of hiring the wrong business coach for me anyway. And in my case, I hired a business coach, oh my gosh, when was it? It was a long time ago. I can't even remember. Anyway, whenever I hired him, it seemed like it was going to be a good fit. He came from a very corporate background, so I equated that with successful, which was a mistake on my part. We live and we learn, right? But I equated corporate background with successful background. Sometimes a corporate background just means that they worked in a management team and they don't really know how to grow a business per se. Okay? So careful with that. But whenever I hired him, we were doing good. Mike and I were really working hard. We were doing a lot of stuff because building your business requires work. Okay? Nobody's building it for you. You have to build your own business. And as we were going through this, I was like, okay, all right. I guess this stuff is valuable. And then we got to our fork in the road. Our fork in the road was this. He told me that I was too altruistic. That was his word. And altruistic means that you focus on the well-being of somebody else. Like you're a giver. You're a giver. And he said, you aren't going to be able to build a business being that altruistic. And that was our fork in the road. I had enough self-confidence even before we had hit successful, before we had like what the outside world would call a successful business. Even before we had done that, I had enough self-confidence in who I was as a person, who I am as a person, that I fired him because of that. So in him saying that I was too altruistic, what that meant was that I wasn't going to be able to be successful in giving back to the world. He said I gave back too much and I wasn't going to be able to build a successful business doing so. So now, was I mad at him? No. But did I know he wasn't going to be able to get me where I wanted to go? Yes. I was like, okay, well, if that is your truth, I'm not saying that you're being mean. I'm not saying you're being malicious. I am going to say you're wrong. But if that's your truth, then we no longer mesh, right? We no longer make sense together, because if your truth is that I can't give back and still have a successful business, no, not only are you wrong, but you're going to lead me in the wrong direction. And so we need to go ahead and split paths now. You need to go do what you're going to do, which is totally cool. And then I'm going to go do what I'm going to do. The altruistic entrepreneur. I'm going to go ahead and give back and build a business doing it. And now I'm interested to see what his opinion is. Right? Because I will show people how to do it. But he represents, and again, there's no malice here. He wasn't trying to be a jerk and he wasn't trying to hold me back. He simply didn't know any better. And so he spoke his truth. His truth wasn't my truth. I had to recognize that and say, okay, we can't do this. Right? So what we're going to go into today are 3 things that you need to look for in a business coach that's actually going to be able to get you where you want to go. Okay? Because not all business coaches are created equal. Nobody does it the way I do it. Just a heads up, nobody does. Nobody yet. Wink, wink. You'll understand why I just did that in just a minute. So, number 1, they need to have done what you want to do in the way that you want to do it. Okay? Now, there is a heavy blanket over the coaching industry as a whole, the business coaching industry, where there are people arguing both sides. I don't know why they don't spend their time coaching people and they're too busy arguing with each other, but there's arguments on both sides that say like, does your coach need to have done what you want to do, or can they not have done what you want to do and still be able to coach you? And there's like, there's all sorts of like loud noise about it. Let me cut through the loud noise and be honest with you, okay? Because it's all I know how to do. Nobody can coach you beyond where they've gone themselves. You can't. You can't coach somebody beyond where you've gone yourself. You can't. You don't know what it looks like. Okay? You don't know what it looks like. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know where the roadblocks are. You don't know what to do. And all you're going to do is coach confusion right into somebody else. And that's on you, and that's irresponsible. Okay? So, when you're looking for a business coach, you need to be coached by somebody who is where you want to be in the way that you want to be there. Let me explain the second part of that sentence there. There's one caveat, and I'm going to explain that in a second. In the way that you want to be there. Sometimes people are like, well, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, so then they follow, the gurus that seem to be millionaires. I don't know if they are or not. But they follow those people and they're like, okay, they're a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire like them. I'm going to do what they do. Are you okay with how they do what they do? Do they have a disconnected, disjointed business message? Do they build their business on webinars and you don't want to do webinars, right? Do they spend 50 grand a month on ads that maybe you don't realize? Do you want to have to do that in order to build your business? You need to, if you need to follow a business coach or have a business coach that is where you want to be in the way that you want to be there. Are they working 90 hours a week and you only want to work 5 to 10? Right? Just a quick definition of what I do. I work 5 to 10 hours a week, you guys. I build my business organically without Facebook ads. I am here, and if that's the way that you want to be here, that's what I can teach you because I've done it. See how all of that's full circle? Because I've done all of that. The gurus can't even teach you how to do what I have done because they haven't done it themselves. Okay? Is this like sinking in where you're realizing like not every teacher is actually a good teacher? You have to be able to do that, okay? You have to be able to discern. This is discernment. So the caveat to that is this. The person you can also learn from, even if they're not where you want to be yet, if they have learned side by side with somebody who has and have learned how to teach that, let me explain this to you. I am not just people that are in HBR, okay? I am taking on business strategists. I'm teaching people how to be a business strategist precisely the way that I do it, okay? Precisely, not just in HBR. HBR is like this much of a business strategy, okay? That's not how to become a business strategist the way that I do it. So I am, from the people that are in HBR, people are choosing if they want to be a business strategist like me. Now, those would be good people to go to as business coaches whenever they're certified. Not yet, but whenever they're certified, it'll be good to go to them because they are working the same system. They're doing precisely what I have taught them. So it's coming from me. And all that I'm doing here is I'm replicating myself because I'm just one person. But I've gotten to where I've gotten to in the way that I've gotten there, and I'm teaching other people to replicate that in being able to coach other people. Those would be good people to go to, okay? It's just the caveat. I needed to mention the caveat in this entire thing. Does that make sense, you guys? Number 2, they need to know how to disconnect from themselves and connect with you and your dreams and your goals, okay? So the second thing that you need to look for in a business coach is that they can disconnect from themselves, okay? A lot of them can't do this, guys. They need to be able to disconnect with what they're doing and connect with you. Like you'll see this in any of my group coaching. If you guys have seen me do this in group coaching, like whether it's in Diamond Lane or Momentum Call in HBR, if you've ever seen me do this before, you'll see me grab my notebook. I basically step outside of myself and I start asking them questions about their people and what they're here for and that sort. I'm putting myself in their position. So your business coach needs to be able to take themselves out of their own situation, insert themselves into your business, and then work from that place. It's essentially, if you were to look at it like this, I'm kind of like a Lego character, and I get uprooted from my own house. I get put into like your little house, and then I can look around at the scenery and say, okay, so based on this, based on what we're looking at here, here's what I would do. That's a good business coach is going to be able to do that. Okay, you guys? Super, super important, or else they're going to guide you from where they stand, and that's not your business, your people, or anything you specific at all. Okay? Number 3, they need to be goal-oriented and keep you accountable. Whoo! Suey, right? They need to be goal-oriented and keep you accountable. Very important. You guys, if we don't have goals, we ain't going nowhere, okay? Like, we've got to have goals. Your business coach needs to help you set up goals for yourself. Long-term, mid-term, short-term. You need to have goals set up, and then they need to be checking in on you to make sure you're accomplishing those goals, okay? Seriously. This is something that we're adding to Diamond Lane, by the way. And there's another thing that's coming up that I'm not going to mention just yet that's pretty earth-shattering that's going to be happening pretty soon as well, so far as goals and accountability are concerned. But you guys, goals. Your business coach shouldn't just be a chat, once a week or however many times you're talking to them. It should never just be a chat. It should be, what are you doing moving forward? Moving forward, what's your next goal? What's your next step? What are you doing? Or they should be able to be wise enough, have enough wisdom to maybe even suggest the next step. Again, in my momentum calls, in my Diamond Lane calls, I'll say to you guys, all right, so what's your next step? What are you doing next? Or can you move forward? Are you good to move forward? Like, what are you doing? What's happening next? Or I'll say, my next step for you would be X, Y, and Z. Here's what I would do. Put a date on it. Put a time on it. Okay? That's important from a business coach. Okay, guys? And that is number 3. So again, number 1, they need to have done what you want to do in the way that you want to do it. Number 2, they need to know how to disconnect from themselves and their business and insert themselves into your business, your dreams, your goals for yourself. And then 3, they need to be goal-oriented and keep you accountable. If you are listening to all of this and you are saying, okay, well, I think it's clear I need a business coach. I think everybody on the planet that is running a business, whether it's an at-home income stream or not, needs a business coach, even purely just for the input, the feedback, the accountability, right? We all need that. Whether you admit it to yourself or not, you're going to allow yourself to get stuck, whereas a business coach can come in and say, like, what are you doing? That's like legit, what are you doing? You're not doing anything right now. So if your goal is this, why are you right here? If your goal is this, why are you wandering over here? If your goal is this, why aren't you doing this task that leads you to this, right? Like, that's just how I roll. I'm very systematic and I'm logical and I'm like, I love so much, and I'm going to hug you and I'm going to cry with you and I'm going to laugh with you and we're going to celebrate and all of those things. But also, I'm going to be realistic. Okay, well, this is what needs to happen, guys. This is what needs to happen. Why are you not doing this? If this is how you make money, why don't you have the sales page set up to be able to make the money? Why are you not doing that? Because then I know it's a block. All right, cool. Let's work through that block because I know this is the thing that needs to happen. That's the kind of stuff that happens in Diamond Lane. That also happens in the momentum calls in HBR. If you're not in HBR, you need to message my Facebook business page. Super quick, I'm just going to say this. Message my Facebook business page, Livin the Dream with Martha. Message it the words case study, rainbows and unicorns, whatever you want. You need to be in that program stat. If you don't have a business coach that is actually pushing you to win, you need to be in their stat. Tonight's momentum call is going to be lit, by the way. If I would just get in before tonight. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you're in there. Let me go ahead and get out. And then if you're in HBR, or if you're not ready to join HBR for whatever reason, my suggestion for you is Diamond Lane. 100%. Diamond Lane is where I get to be your coach. I have 2 Zoom calls a week. So today we'll have a Zoom call at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And once you're in, you can go ahead and pop into that call. The old calls are always in the group as well. So we have 2 Zoom calls every week, Tuesday and Thursday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have Facebook Live check-ins where there's a thread where you can literally just ask your questions and I can answer your questions on that thread. If you need a business coach, but you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can really afford a business coach yet, that's totally cool. That's why Diamond Lane's only $97 a month. okay? You get 8 hours of my time. My time is worth $5,000 an hour. Currently, it's actually worth more than that. That's just what I'm going to say right now. You get 8 hours of my time, not to mention me answering questions Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of your specific questions for $97 a month. And if you're like, well, that seems like maybe a little bit low and maybe it's not going to help me, Diamond Laners, just go ahead and pipe up. Go ahead and pipe up and let them know. It's not, what you don't understand is this. What you don't understand is precisely what's holding you back. What you don't understand is that when you get onto a group coaching call or when you hear other people asking questions, they're asking questions that you don't even know that you don't know. And so what that opens up for you from a growth perspective is exponential growth. Because you're on this kind of like stair-step trajectory, right? Just you and your little stairs. When you start getting expansive growth because somebody else is asking questions that's maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead of you, and all of a sudden you get this learning curve that looks like this. Your steps start looking bigger and start going faster. That's Diamond Lane. That's what happens in those groups. And that's, I mean, I think that people look at group coaching and they say, well, I can't get my one-on-one time. Yeah, you can. First of all, yeah, you can, because I'm always looking for questions from people that I haven't heard from recently whenever I look at the questions in the chat in our Zoom calls. Okay, so there's that. But you don't need one-on-one time. One-on-one time is actually what's going to disable you. One-on-one time doesn't give you the exponential growth because you don't know that. You don't, once these questions are being asked and opened up and all of a sudden your mind goes poof, poof. That's what you get from a group. That's called a mastermind. We see this term mastermind just thrown around randomly. What a mastermind is a bunch of minds working together on something and a bunch of minds creating things together. Diamond Lane is a mastermind. Okay. So what questions do you guys have? Oh, and to get into Diamond Lane, just go ahead and message my Facebook business page. Again, right here, Livin the Dream with Martha. Just message me and ask me for the link for Diamond Lane, and I'll happily give it to you. All right. Britt, Diamond Lane will change your life. Do it now. You guys, $97 a month. If this would have been available to me when I first started, I mean, I would have blown up really fast. It wouldn't have taken me so long. And that's my goal for you guys. That's why I exist, is so your learning curve isn't as long. Claudette, Diamond Lane is the secret sauce. It is, 100%. Michelle, can't wait to get in Diamond Lane. I hear tons of awesomeness. It's amazing. Joe, what you don't understand is precisely what's holding you back. There it is. That's it. That's it. Brandy, the accountability and encouragement is like no other with this group. I'm so grateful for HBR and Diamond Lane moving the needle. Boom. Cindy, Diamond Lane is invaluable. It creates creativity and ideas flow so fast. If you think you can't afford, look at what you are spending on things that don't help you in your business. There's your money. You can accidentally spend $97 every month on crap. Leslie, group coaching is so helpful. People ask questions that I had too, and everyone grows together. There it is. Leslie, I'm never going back to life without Diamond Lane, period. You guys, you got to hear these people. They gain nothing. They gain nothing from telling you this truth of theirs. Like, seriously, that's it. If you're stuck, if you feel like you're stuck, there's a solution for you, and it's beyond affordable. Diamond Lane should cost much more than it does, and we keep adding things to it, and the price will always be $97 a month. Period. I'm not going to raise it on you. All right, I got to get out of here, guys. Have the best day. Bye-bye.